All right, well, we're back at it. Life Below Par podcast, powered by Mayflower Sports. You can find us on Instagram at Mayflower Sports and Twitter at Sports Mayflower. Why don't we get right into the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am? Scoot, what are you going to tell us about it?
Yep. No, it was another good finish. Second, back to back since we started doing this. So, like, one of the big names obviously got it done, Daniel Berger. I think he might have been the betting favorite. Him and Cantley, which, also had a good finish. But, Berger finished. I think it was 18 under with a big eagle on the last hole, which really sealed it, made sure no one really could come back from that. It was actually, I think they said he got an eagle in every single round, I think it was, which is kind of impressive. I know
Yeah,
a couple of par fives there play a little short, but still nonetheless pretty impressive there.
Yeah, the 18th hole one just looked so easy. He banged it up the fairway, wasn't even close to being near the water. Just perfect tee shot in that sense, and then a nice little wood of some sort. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 5 wood.
I think he said a 3 wood. I think someone said 3 wood. I think if I remember.
Yeah.
Then drain probably like a 25, 35 putt.
20. Yeah, just easy. Just middle of the green with the 3 wood and just nice little tap it in.
That's like, but a lot of times, I mean, when guys are feeling it, you're like, so often those putts go in when they're feeling it. You just remember back when, who was it? Rahm jacked one when he won, and then DJ put one right. Wasn't that the major?
I'm just trying to think now. What do you mean?
It was back one. It was like really long.
Oh, where DJ made it, and then Rahm in the playoff whacked one from like further back.
Yeah, and then like remember when JT, when Morikawa made it right after too.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking like where they whacked that big downhill one. I don't think that was a major.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess point is like just sometimes when they're feeling it, like those putts just feel like they're just gonna go in.
Yeah, well, like Spieth last week, man. Spieth just got his mojo going last week at the Waste Management, and he couldn't miss.
He was my pick too. Good.
Yeah, no, he looked well. He's winning after Saturday by 2, right?
After Saturday, yeah. But he went 71-70 on the weekend.
Yeah, just a poor showing on the weekend, but
yeah. Well, and he birdied 17 and 18 as well, just to kind of get up the leaderboard there. Good finish, but obviously, Berger went 7 under, so it was out there to get. He just didn't get it.
Yeah, but Berger just played clean.
Yeah, he just played solid 7 under, I think. Yeah, 65. But yeah, Spieth. It's another positive. Another positive showing, obviously. 3 under, tie 3, T3, and then T4. At the Waste Management, obviously, the confidence is up. He just got to, those are 2 final rounds where I think he went 1 over and 2 under, something like that. Just couldn't really get it done. He finished 2 back, then 3 back. So it was right there for him, but he's in the field this week. So
how about there were some good stories this week though? Lashley on that 4 jack was something special to watch.
4 jack from 13 feet.
It was just like, I don't know if you saw the clip or not, or were watching it live, but he was showing some emotion. That's for sure. If I was getting into that last week, he was showing some emotion. The clubs were flying in the air.
I would be too. You can't. He was in the lead and he 4 putts. And he 4 putts. It wasn't even a hard
No.
Granted, we've never putted on greens like that, but I think I could have got that down in 3.
Oh, I'd say
down in 2, but you can't 4 putt. You can't 3 putt from 13 feet.
No, I couldn't believe it.
He slammed his putter after he got off.
He slammed it into his bag. He was flipping it up in the air after he's missing 3 in a row.
I mean, I'd do the
It's,
same in 4-putting. Pretty much cost him like.
well, you got to
Cost him
think how many times is that guy going to be? And I don't know much about him, to be honest.
He won. Let me look quickly. I think he has a win. But yeah, I mean, especially in a in a tournament where it's not, it wasn't a huge a very good field. So I mean, he's got a
Exactly.
chance right there to kind of close it out.
Yep.
Can't feel very good about that one.
No, he
But
gave it away. He had the win locked up. All he had to do was pretty well par out, maybe have a birdie or two. I mean,
he
Berger's
finished
eagle
4 back.
changed.
He finished 4 back. So I mean, if you 2-putt that, you're 2 back, and then he probably wasn't feeling too.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling too hot after that, I imagine.
He birdied 5 or 18. So I mean, what can you do? I guess like when with that eagle from Berger, it would have been still tough. But if he 1-putted, I mean, he's right there. But he still shot actually a good day despite everything. I mean, he shot 69 despite a triple
jack
bogey
on the back nine there coming down the stretch.
I mean, it's just a tough time to do it, right? If you do it like on hole 12 or hole 13,
yeah,
you have some time, right? But I mean, after that,
there's no time
you don't
to
really
make
have
it back.
Yeah, he had 2 holes. I mean, even
we
if
should talk about
we
should talk about Francesco a little bit.
Let's do it, because that was an all-timer, honestly.
Yeah, that was an all-time shot we saw on Sunday.
As much as you hate to see it, you kind of love to see it at the same time.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if I was out there, I'd probably have a few of those each week. So,
I guess for context, we didn't actually mention it was on the first hole of the 3rd round.
Was it the 3rd round? Yeah, it might have been Saturday and not Sunday.
Either way, it was hole 1.
Yeah, we'll throw the clip up at some point too.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what happened there. If it was a slip.
It was a winded cheater, amateur style.
You see, that left foot went away, but he's been kind of working on a little bit of that, of using the ground force. But there we go, lands on the tee in front.
Yeah, and he just absolutely fucking worm burn. Really, it wasn't even a shank. It was just like a top.
Yeah, it was just a clean top of the ball. Like it's something you would see if I was going out with my roommates. We got pretty banged up on a Saturday night, and then we were going out for
round
Sunday.
3.
Round 3, okay. So
round 3 hit it 70 yards.
Yeah, it sounded like he had a good Friday night, is what happened.
And must have, yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe he was still feeling a little buzzed at the course in the morning. That seems to be a big problem for me and the roommates when we go out. Just the buzz is still alive.
Yeah, it was just
balance was a little off.
Just a straight top.
Yeah, just a straight top. I wish there was water.
Yeah, that would have been something. He just ended up bogeying the hole, so it's not
too bad, but it's just a great one to look at. I mean, he won a Masters, didn't he?
No, he choked the Masters and then he choked it, and then Tiger won, right?
Yeah, but he won a major of some sort, didn't he?
Yeah, which major did he win? He was good. Let me check his he had that 2-year span. Yeah, 18 and 19. He won 3 times, had another second, and then a third. Like he was just kind of came on the scene necessarily, because he's still a good player, but I mean, he was like it for a bit. He was just always winning, it seemed. He won the Open. Yeah, he won the Open.
Okay. That was probably a little closer to his heart anyway. I'm sure he's rather win that one than
but to choke the
Masters
Masters is kind of tough.
Oh, it's obviously very tough, but
Yeah,
he's Italian, right? I mean, the Open's probably the one he's always wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure he's kind of been hearing about that one, since he's been growing up. But nonetheless, it just reminds us that little shank there that golf is tough. I mean, one millimeter here, you hit the ball different, or your swing path is off just a little bit. It can happen.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen often
Exactly. Big night
to those fellas, but oh well.
No,
He got
I know,
around. He doubled the next though, so it's kind of a tough.
I'm surprised a guy like DJ, after a big Friday, Saturday night, he doesn't come out the next day just all over the place.
Oh yeah, I know. First couple, holes when we go to PEI, the heads is kind of you put your head down to tee the ball up, and when you're coming back up, you're like you're spinning a little bit, and then try to get the club on the ball. It can be a little tough, but.
Exactly. At least we're all on the same page in Cavendish. So that's the difference. Exactly. Francesco is going out there and let's say he put a whole flat back at 2-4 or something last night. I mean, the other competitors probably, I imagine, aren't doing that. I mean, I guess quarantine's pretty tough for the lads out there. So maybe they are, but
I don't know if they get after it or not, but you'd like to think you think I think John Daly might have been getting after it, but he was in the field, didn't finish well, but
he came last, didn't he? He was going to be my pick last week.
Second
last.
I
was just going to take it as a joke.
No, yeah, he came second last. But I mean, you know what?
What I was getting at was, at least when we're on the island, me and you could be pretty banged up. Whatever, we shank ours into the woods, but at least it will be like Magoo, our buddy, or something, will be over in the woods pulling trigger. We'll feel a little bit better about ourselves after we shank one into the woods. But he just had silence and just had to sadly walk up to a 70-yard ball.
Yeah, there's no reuse either. No breakfast balls on the on tour. So
no, exactly.
No, he'll come back. I don't feel too bad for him.
He's just got to pick a better weekend to get banged up. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
But we should talk about the Piñata Picks. I know you know a little bit more about it than I do, but we had two,
so I guess,
one each, and kind of explain what we're going to do with it.
Yeah, so each week we're going to just and we did it, so we're just going to, for last week, we each picked a random player, or randomly generated a player. Go head to head, best finish kind of gets a point for that week, and then we'll play for something. Dinner, money, whatever it might be down the line. We'll figure that out. But
yeah, we'll figure it out for next week what we'll be playing for, and maybe a little bit of a system, because maybe what if we get a Piñata player and they win? Is that like worth 5 points maybe?
I don't know. We'll see.
Something
I was just thinking head to head, but yeah, maybe we could say that. But either way, it didn't happen this week. So what happened this week was we did it. I did it after the first show, but who was it? So I got a guy, Cameron Davis, Aussie,
who's pretty good
player. So I didn't know too much about him. I've obviously heard the name. Finished tied 14th.
Minus 10, right?
Yeah, minus 10. I mean, he's a pretty good player. Now on the other hand, so Luke,
I got Kenny fucking Pigman.
Kenny Pigman. Whoever heard of Kenny Pigman? I think it was his fourth start.
Powers, bro, from that show Eastbound and Down. I thought that's
you honestly might have had. You should have just had Kenny Powers instead. Honestly.
Yeah, you would have probably performed a little better for me.
Yeah, so Kenny Pigman pretty well performed as expected.
As expected.
Pigman would perform. So Kenny finished third last. Poor Kenny.
Poor Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know, like if he has too much of a playing career ahead of him. I could be wrong, but
I want to play him in a match. If he ever gets out of the tour, like I'm sure I get slapped around by Kenny fucking Pigman.
He just had a tough first day. I mean, Yeah, I mean, you went 7 over, 4 over. You just
I
can't.
mean, how do we know though? Because I've never seen him play before. Maybe that was his best round he's ever played.
I mean,
And
he doesn't really have much of a profile. I think it. Let me quickly pull it up here. No, he's pretty shit.
yeah,
Basically, I tried to look at it online. It was just like some of his like college stuff, which I don't think he has too much of anyway.
yeah,
Either
maybe
way,
that'd be a good
like
content idea. If we could fly him out here, he could play
maybe
me
you
at
can get Kenny. I'm sure he hasn't really been asked on many pods, for his golf performance. So maybe we can get him on or something. Just
definitely. He's probably been on a few pods for. He
chirp
seems
him.
like a bit of a boozer or something. He must be he put on him and Francesco had him themselves a week. We'll say that. I think John Daly got in their ears.
Fucking Kenny, like so Kenny has he played 2 tournaments in 2017, one in 2019, and then obviously this week he made 1 cut, which
Hey, that's more than me. But
yeah.
I wonder if he'd be interested in doing like a little 1v1 head-to-head match against me, or maybe it's a scramble between
We
the
could do
two
a
of us at
scramble
like
against him.
Indian Lake. I wonder if he'd fly out for Indian Lake.
Probably. I don't know if he's got too much else going on. He barely didn't exist on Google, so
I can't believe Kenny Pigment's the first name.
Either way, that's a bad first pick for you.
It's
I just dust
it can only get better. It can only get better from here.
Yeah.
Should we do our
Yeah, I was
Piñata
just
for
going
next
to
week?
say on that note, I have it all ready here. Just trust me that it's all legit. But so I got all the players randomly here for next week. I pulled up the field, at least as of right now. I don't know if anyone else getting added, but we're just going to do it as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's 120 right now, at least in the field. So let me go on. I'll do yours first, Luke.
All right, sounds good.
So
the bottom half of the field player, hopefully.
So let me do it. So your number's 41. So let me see what player is assigned to 41. Brian Harmon. So he's a guy. He's been around. We'll do it. Let me bring up his kind of career stats here. He's a little bit. So he's 34. He's short guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he must be like what 5'6" or something.
5'7", but he's 89 world rank, 61 in. He's a player. Like don't get me wrong.
Player.
I believe he's a lefty. Yeah, he's a lefty. I knew that. Let's see his career. He's got 2 wins.
I wonder how he does at Riviera. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, he's doing pretty. He's actually a really solid player. Like his FedEx standings, he's never finished. His worst finish in the FedEx standings since it became a thing was 94. He's got 2 wins on tour.
Hopefully 3 after this week.
Exactly. He's pretty steady, finishes 50 or 60 in the FedEx Cup. So
he's a guy that mostly hits every fairway, doesn't he? He drives the ball pretty short, but he's pretty accurate all over the place.
Sort of 11 cuts out of 12 this year, to put it. So he, what are his finishes like? 38, 37, 13.
Yeah, he's a strong PGA Tour professional, I'd say.
T8. So nothing crazy, but seems pretty solid.
Above average. I'm happy with that.
Very much so. Very much so. But probably not a guy who's going to light it up.
No, especially
not a guy that's going to be there, right? So let me see. So on to mine.
You'll probably pull like a Rory or JT.
Number 85.
Rory, JT, Rom, probably one
You're
of those.
You're not going to believe who I just got.
No, I believe it because I know exactly. It's got to be one of those guys.
Who do you think?
JT, probably.
Brooks Koepka.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So that's a tough one. I'm just getting lucky here.
Yeah,
and
it is a game of chance though.
Yep, I'm sure everyone knows Brooks Koepka who's listening. Most likely, they might not. However, I will, for context, also go through his career briefly. It's he won 2 weeks ago, so
Yep.
he's kind of feeling it. He's
He's
12th in the
definitely
world.
He didn't play last week.
No, had a week off. Now this should still be a better match than what we had last week. But so Brooks Koepka has 8 wins, and I believe he has
How many majors?
Four. I'm checking right
majors.
now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 majors, but then top. I mean, geez, he has a T2, T4, 2, and T7 in the last few. I mean,
he's obviously a top caliber player.
yeah, I mean, he's 12th in the world right now, but he was injured there for a while. So,
I think it's going to be closer than we think with Harman and
Oh,
Koepka. They're very different players. Koepka's a guy that kind of bombs the ball out there, and
well, it's
I
kind of like he's got more firepower, that's for sure.
Yep.
Clearly, but with that can come big numbers too. If you're if you can kind of start missing fairways, that can be tough. But if you're hitting the ball far and you're hitting fairways, there's really nothing. A guy like that's just going to go low. But regardless, it should be a better competition than Cameron Davis versus Kenny Pickman because
it was
Kenny
over
Pickman's
after the
not
first
even
day last week. So hopefully we can get 2 guys to make the cut and kind of come down to it on Sunday or something like that. That'd be some fun. But
Yep.
I guess my money's on Brian Harman over Koepka this week.
Yep. Betting odds. I mean,
anyway.
Betting odds on last week Kenny Pickman I just can't get over it. But he was like 850 or something to 1.
Yeah, 850, and you were like 40 or something or 30 to 1. Weren't you?
Something actually legit. Let me check real quick if they have the odds up for this week. Might be a little early, but no, they have. So, and Harman's a lefty too, which is kind of cool. 93 to 1 is Harman.
93 to 1. Okay, I can live with that. It's an improvement from 850.
Brooks Koepka is 16. So
16
DJ's the betting favorite. McIlroy, which is maybe not. Then Rahm, Schauffele. I mean, and then, but to put in perspective, this week is going to be like this. This is legit.
It's going to be a good week.
Yeah, this is pretty much just like this is going to be pretty much what the players is going to look like, which is always considered the best field because it's
thy players.
You don't have, but you don't have stuff like the Masters with a lot of amateurs. Matches only like 93, 95 players in it.
And there's those older folks that get into the Masters.
Yeah, exactly. It's still kind of like an invitational. And then, like the PGA and the British, you always get these, qualifiers. So, yeah, we're ripping through the list. Basically, everyone besides Tiger is in the tournament, basically. Everyone else is in, so
all things aside, well, I guess we'll start to get into the Genesis Invitational and that sort of thing after our break. But do we have anything else we want to touch on before the break?
I don't think so. I mean, last week was pretty it was unfortunate that fans couldn't be there because it's just such a famous classic course, and and the amateur or the celebrities pro-am couldn't go on, but
it's always fun watching
nonetheless that. Still besides kind of a slower not a big field or not a impressive field, there's still some stories coming out, which was nice. So I think that pretty much wraps up.
Sums it up.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll be back just after this short message.
Munchie's Convenience is located at 1840 Vernon Street that specializes in exotic snacks and sodas. They are also Atlantic Lottery certified for all of your lotto and gambling needs. Check them out on Instagram at HFX Munchies to see all their stock.
Welcome back to Life Below Par. We're going to hop right in here to the Genesis Invitational. I'll first say It's playing at the Riviera Golf Course, and we can hop right into that. Scoot, do you want to talk about the field a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, it's a stacked field. Basically, everyone besides Tiger is there, which is always that's just when the best players are playing. That's when it's going to be the most fun to watch. And I expect top of the leaderboards are going to be filled with the usual. I know Riviera is pretty, famous course. I think a lot of celebrities. I think Adam Sandler plays there, a couple other guys. So it's right there, kind of in that land of things. And
Pricey spot.
What's that?
Pricey spot. Tough to get
Yeah.
a reservation there, that's for sure.
Yep. No, same with Pebble too. That's one of those famous public. I know Pebbles. I think it's a public course, so it's one of those like famous ones everyone likes to go to if you can. Pricey, but would be kind of a bucket list type of thing. But I guess just getting into it. I don't know if any crazy storylines, but they're coming up. But throughout the week, there's always something. But I guess our picks here. My pick for this week, I was just kind of looking through it. And I think JT is going to have a week. He's kind of coming off of that tough last week, losing his grandfather. But I just he hasn't won this year, which I know. I just haven't. He won last year a couple times, but this year hasn't won. And his finishes have been crazy this year. So he has a tie, T8, T2, solo 4, 3, 12, 13, another 12. I think he's probably going to come out and have a really good week. He took the week off this past week, so he's probably all rested up. I think he's going to have a good one, but it's going to be tough. He's going to have to beat, DJ's in it, Rahm's in it, Schauffele's in it, Rory's in it, everyone's in it. So, but I think JT's going to pull a no. DeChambeau's in it.
Man. No, I like JT this week, man. He's fighting for something this week. He knows He knows everyone's going to be watching him. He knows what's going on after his poor performance on Sunday of 2 weeks ago. Sorry, and I think he's going to have that fire that I was talking about last episode. I think he's going to come out hot. I wouldn't be shocked for sure if he takes it. I'm going to go a little bit different direction. I'm going to go with one of the younger guys. I'm between Hovland and Morikawa. Spur of the moment decision. I'm going to go with Morikawa because
it's a good pick.
Because I know he went to Stanford. He's from Well, I'm not sure if he's from California, but I know he spent a lot of time in California, and that's where he lives currently. I wouldn't be shocked if he's played the course more than a few times. And
he's also nasty.
And he's also, he's just filthy. So my pick's going to be Morikawa. But once again, JT, I think, is a great look as well. How about this? This is something I sort of just thought of off the spot. But last year's winner, Adam Scott, was at -11 for the tournament, and he won by 2 shots. What do you think
it's going to be tough.
This sort of field we're going to see this week for the winning score?
I suspect probably something. It really just depends on kind of how they want to lay the course out. I haven't obviously looked too much into hole by hole, but
are we going to see the guys, this big field, shoot the lights out here today? Or not today, but I suppose next weekend.
Well, I think with the whole chatter on the tour wanting to limit the length, which they can't really do, but what you can do to mitigate and kind of go against it is make the rest of the course harder, which I think you're going to end up seeing, because the tour ultimately doesn't want them hitting the ball, increasingly longer and longer and longer. So I don't know if they just keep the green or the rough high greens rolling quick and rough around the greens high. You're probably not going to see it. If it's historically shooting, winner shooting 10 under, 11 under, it's probably going to be something similar. But there's always that chance that someone's just going to come out and if you get one of these bombers that are hitting it 320, 330 every time and hitting fairways, they really can go as low as they want if they're hitting fairways and hit it that far.
All right, I'll go out on a limb. I'll say the winner will be at -16. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say an average -4 each round the winner's going to have.
Yeah.
And I know that's 5 shots better than last year. And
I also didn't check who was in the field last year. I mean, it is a stacked field, so
it is a stacked field.
they literally got everyone.
I feel like guys are motivated to win now too. Not saying they weren't before, but I feel like this year guys are motivated. We got a great field. I feel like everyone's going to be coming out guns a-blazing.
Agreed.
I
don't know if there's, well, hopefully there's a lot that comes out of it. Hopefully some more Patrick Reed cheating. Hopefully some it's DJ just being DJ. DeChambeau hopefully fighting with like rules officials and stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind like a little, how there's all these YouTuber fights and boxing matches going on. Maybe a little Koepka versus DJ action, or not DJ, Koepka versus Bryson action.
Yeah.
After that little, and they could get it sponsored by like one of those what are they, ant sprays? I don't even know what you call them.
No, I agree. Bryson is always, he's always good for some kind of rule, not violation, but trying to bend the rule or something like that. So
yeah, we could
maybe get a good, and I mean, we're coming up to the players here too. So everyone kind of wants to get going, playing well, going into the players, because that's obviously the first big. I mean, there's a World Golf, but I would say, the players is ultimately the first big tournament. There's that in the majors and then the playoffs. So everyone kind of wants to be playing well.
How about this? Here's a question from out of left field. And I think we talked about this. Well, we didn't, but I talked about this on the Game of Inches podcast a few weeks ago. But if you had to pick one guy right now to win a major this year, who's the guy you're taking?
If I just had to pick one guy to win any major
this year,
it's an easy pick, but DJ.
Okay, no, that's fair. I took someone completely different, so we'll see how it pans out.
Okay, I just think like if you're just saying now, it was like particular majors, but like, yeah. I think he's just playing so well right now.
DJ's obviously a great pick. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that guy. He smashes the ball, whether there's officials or not in the way. He's smashing the ball.
Yeah,
down
true.
there.
No, he's honestly, I would like to see Rory though.
Oh, I'd love to see Rory.
I would love to see him get back in the kind of.
Rory, Spieth, Tiger are the 3 guys I'll be rooting for this year to see them get a major. The guy I took was Rahm. I just think it's destiny for Rahm to win one with all those Spaniards winning them in the past. Olazabal, Garcia won one, Seve obviously. I think he wants to join that major champion group with all those Spaniards, and I think he's got the fire in him, and he's going to put the work in to win. I think it's all about the mindset.
Yeah, no, he's nasty.
Yeah.
I thought he. Okay, yeah. So I was thinking something different. Yeah, he obviously didn't win one.
Mm-hmm. They're all Americans, I think, that won the majors last year. I think it was DeChambeau, Morikawa, and who won the other one? Did DJ win one? I'm not sure.
Yeah, DJ won the Masters. Yeah.
I knew they were all Americans, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, the last 4 have been Americans. Shane Lowry was the last one that. Shane Lowry was the last one.
Is that at the Open? 2019, maybe?
2019 Open.
Yeah.
And Woodland, Morikawa, Johnson, DeChambeau.
Yeah, just all Americans. I think there's got to be a European or at least a non-American that wins
Yeah, no, I'd love to see Rory get back into it.
Yeah, Rory would be great to see. I mean, obviously he's Irish, and I'll be rooting for him no matter what. But what about next week? I heard we got a big show coming next week. It should be filled with some laughs, some stories.
Yeah, we asked a couple buddies that I've been golfing with one of them for a while, but basically we go away PEI every year for the classic golf trip. Just fun, just a lot of fun. So we're just going to bring them on. One of them, we'll talk about junior golf stories, which is a few funny ones, just ripping around the course, and then get into PEI stories. So it'll be, we'll still do the recap on Genesis and all that, but then it'll be more focused on, more of a fun, some stories that we like to retell each other, but we'll share them.
More of a fun storytelling episode next week, and recap and all of this sort of jazz. But I don't think we have anything else to touch on, do we? I mean, we can ask the viewers what they kind of want to see in the future with content-wise, whether they want to see us maybe break down whether it's a hole at their home course or a hole on an upcoming tournament that we can kind of look at, break down how we play it, etc., how the pros would play it. We can get into sort of different club selection. We can get into brands. Let us know what guests you'd like for us to have in the future. I know we've had some people kind of clawing at our heels that want to come on, so I'm sure we'll have them on in the future. But if there's anyone in mind, just be sure to leave it in a comment down below. And I think that's it for this week. So just give us a follow on Instagram at Mayflower Sports. Follow our Twitter at Sports Mayflower. And thanks for joining us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you're watching us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and have a good evening, morning, night. Take care.
Thanks, Sip.
Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden.